George Jimbo to the Nyingma only Molum Jimbo Abjada, Bakardang and Began Murdo, Dumba to Jijan Logi Johnson. Yundan Sanji Gandanyam Naya, Gordon Sanji Lijan Lobango, Lama Nama Sorwande, Dosondo, Lorna Chula. Good morning. Welcome, all of you. Thank you very much for coming. Today is mindfulness practice. Thank you very much for Bodhicitta Sangha. Thank you for board members, volunteers. Thank you, all of you, and getting everything ready for this teaching, this meditation. And another important is I would like to begin by remind all of you that it is important to have a good motivation for these activities, for your meditation, for the teaching, because practicing the teachings with uncertain motivation, which is very common, right? And sometimes, especially, a selfish motivation. So this kind of motivation will not bring much benefit. So once you have the correct motivation right at the beginning and also the dedication at the end, then, throughout the day, your mind probably wanders all over, and even if you have some harmful, these negative thoughts, and if you can just relax, that's just fine. That's just fine. So you are, as long as you have a correct motivation right at the beginning and then correct dedication at the end, then your day, you're not wasting your time. Because everything, according to Buddhism, especially Mahayana Buddhism, everything depends on your motivation. So that's why I always correct. I always remind you, correct your motivation. Actually, when you say these opening prayers, you have to correct at that time. Correct your motivation, Mahayana motivation, not uncertain motivation, not selfish motivation. So Mahayana motivation. So that's very important. And there are two stages of enlightenment, right? When we're talking about motivation, you can say relative enlightenment and the ultimate enlightenment. So the relative is developing the genuine love and kindness. It is a strong desire to achieve enlightenment in order to benefit others. And ultimate enlightenment is, of course, the perfect realization of the nature of mind. And when you get that perfect realization and the genuine love and kindness, and out of that power of wisdom and compassion, your capacity limitless. So once you achieved these two stages, relative enlightenment, ultimate enlightenment, then you became, we call it enlightened beings or Buddha. But I mean, that's kind of motivation, right? But to really get into that relative or ultimate enlightenment, the foundation practices are very important. For example, love and kindness, patience, diligence, discipline, satisfaction, etc. These are qualities you really have to cultivate and develop in this certain lifetime. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to experience a happy mind. If your goal is to have a happy life, then this kind of relative or this kind of, fundamental practice, I would say, very important. Because once you develop these qualities, you will see your mind become satisfied. I think that's it. That's once you have said, that's your happiness. Many people do not understand what is happiness. What is happiness actually? Many people believe that there is no happiness. There is no everlasting happiness. There is no genuine happiness. But there is a happiness, I think, the satisfaction. So all these kind of teachings and forms of practice share a common goal of helping people to become a good human being and lead a better life. That's all we need. I think without these qualities and people who have an sort of untamed mind or wild mind, I think human beings are kind of scary. If you believe ghosts or demons, right? You think they're scary ghosts. They're very scary. People say, "Oh, last night I had a very scary dream about ghosts or demons." But I think human beings are more scary than ghosts. For sure, 100% sure. Because, if you believe ghosts, they don't harm you every day. They don't harm you. Maybe just sometimes you think, they harm you. But not every day. But conversely, human beings harm each other every day. I mean, especially untamed minds, like wild human beings. Very scary, I think. Very scary. And people really can harm each other in different ways, physically or mentally, But if we develop this kind of, I just said, these qualities, then you become a good human being, very good human beings, right? So what I'm trying to say is that in order to develop your mind, you must meditate, because it cannot be, I always say this, it cannot be cultivated just by wishful thinking, or maybe you're doing some prayers or say some mantras. Doesn't work. You have to meditate. You have to, Buddha said, you have to take the path and liberate yourself. So meditation is very important. But, it's not so easy to do, because we have these strong habits, right? Strong habits. Very, very strong habits. And we love these habits, right? Attachment, ignorance, I don't know. We love attachment, desire, greedy, all this strong habit. We have this strong habit. That's the whole purpose of difficult to practice and to relax, because we can't just relax, because this habit, strong habit. So, but that's okay, that's fine. You should patience with your difficult practice meditation. Very important. Patience, very important. Worldly or spiritually, very important. Sometimes people say that, I cannot do this meditation. I cannot do this meditation. People think, even though I have this precious human life, all these freedoms and advantages, I have all this precious human life, but still I can't meditate. I can't practice. What's wrong with me? I have everything. I have precious life. So then people, kind of no patience, right? So with their meditation, I can't meditate. Then they lose their confidence. Oh, I can't meditate. So, but I think always self-blame destroys your capacity to grow. Really, we have to understand that. Your practice, you destroy your practice, because what's wrong with me? I can't do this. You can, of course. Why not? So the practitioners really need patience and discipline. That's the thing. Patience and discipline. So what is discipline? Doing, try to do the positive actions and benefiting others. All this together is we call discipline. Take your path, and liberate yourself. I mean, these are not only for today, though. These are not only for today. I mean, just basic teaching, But it's always important to remember this kind of teaching and try to put them into your practice. And what I can tell you is that if you don't practice, then it is really difficult to achieve anything, because it will be difficult to change this ordinary mind. So meditation is the thing. But when you meditate, don't meditate too hard, right? Too hard. Don't also self-blame. It doesn't work. Just to relax and do little by little, meditate. Sometimes good, sometimes not good, but just with patience. Very good. Anyway, so now for today, the topic is about mindfulness and awareness. So I want you to have a taste the value of the mindfulness and awareness. So first of all, you have to know that we have these two important mental states. We have mindfulness and we have awareness. Beautiful. So the definition of mindfulness is not forgetting what you are doing. Paying attention to the main focus of the meditation, for example, or whatever you are doing. So it is the antidote to not forgetting. For example, when you meditate on mindfulness, you have to focus on the object. If you have an object meditation, you have to focus on object. You cannot forget the object. And you also have to continuously recognize and pay attention to your distractions. Pay attention to distractions. Distractions. You see, distraction, understand? And Tibetan we say Nyingma. Yang means like, actually, English distraction. This not just, this doesn't work justice, but I don't know exactly, but I think, we say distraction, That's the thing. That's why yang means like distraction. You forget what you're doing. So that's why ultimately we have mindfulness within us, but we just don't remember. We forget what we're, doing. So that's why distraction, like your dullness, agitation, your thoughts, your disturbing emotions, and so on and so forth. All these things we call distraction. That's the main obstacle. So you have to recognize all this distraction. That part is your awareness. Okay? So when we talk about mindfulness, all day today, okay? Mindfulness. When we talk about mindfulness, think, what are we mindful of? Buddhists believe that distraction is our obstacle. Distraction is our enemy. And when we talk about distractions, we're not talking about like big distractions, I'm talking about the subtle distractions. So let me put it this way. The Buddhist goal is to understand the truth. Or your goal, when you meditate, right? Practice meditation. When you meditate, your goal, what is your goal? Your goal is to understand the truth. So, either when we talk about truth, there are two truths: relative truth or the ultimate truth. For example, the relative truth, the truth about death, the truth about impermanence, the truth about daily life, etc. For example, every time See, the truth of death, truth of impermanence, we don't remember. We forget all the time these things because distractions. We don't have mindfulness. These are relative truth, right? Very important to understand death. Very important to understand impermanence. Your daily activities, very important. For example, every time the relative truth, like every time when we're talking about something like our body, something like our body. The moment we think about our body, we think in terms of a whole unit, body, my body, which is not true, right? Which is not true. There's no such thing as a body. The body is made by so many things, but we think it is one unit, my body. Then we attach to it. So we think that is Buddhist word, ignorance. That ignorance, okay? That is the ignorance. Another distraction. So then also when we talk about the body, it is already gone. It's already gone, right? Even this moment, my body, this moment, my body is different than before. It has to be, logically, scientifically. It has to be. Otherwise, it doesn't work. But we don't think like that. We don't think like that. We think this body is same body that I have been having all the time. That means like for many years. If you are 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, I have same body. So, see, there is a big misunderstanding. Big misunderstanding. But when I talk about this kind of things, relative truth, this is relative truth. But you may think, what's wrong with that? This is my body. Yeah, this is my body. One unit, this is my body. What's wrong with that? Well, if you think about it deeply, then you will see there is something fundamentally wrong. Fundamentally wrong. It is because when you have this kind of fundamental, I would say, misunderstanding, you will have different kinds of expectations. You don't have the habit of always seeing the truth as long as you have this misunderstanding, fundamental misunderstanding. So the question is, what makes you not understand? And what makes you not understand this truth? This truth. And what makes you forget this truth? So two things. We have two things. We don't understand the truth and we forget the truth every single day. So Buddhists think it is ignorance that makes you not understand the truth, and Buddhists think it is distractions that make you forget the truth. So let's talk about distraction, because it's very important to understand. So again, I'm talking about the subtle distractions. Like, for example, like you have been sitting there, but are you aware that you are sitting there? I don't think so, because we forget. Distractions. That's why Buddhists believe that it is the distraction that makes you forget what is going on. For example, when you speak, right, these are our everyday, like daily activities, so important. When you speak, are you aware that you are saying what you are saying? Probably not. I don't think so. Like that, with everything you do. So when you have distractions, basically, you are not there. You are not there. Buddhists say that, if you have all these distractions, you will not have a full life. You will not have full life. This means you are in the past or in the future. You are thinking. You are thinking. So we usually forget that we have a mind, actually. Are you aware all the time that you have a mind and what you are thinking? I don't think so, We are constantly not aware of what is happening. For example, when you have a cup of tea, you're not aware of the tea. You are thinking about something else while you are drinking the tea, right? So this constant distraction of continuously living like unmindfully is what Buddhists call ignorance. So continuously not living mindfully is one of the cause of our cycling around and around. So this continuous lack of mindfulness and lack of awareness are what cause our endless births and deaths. Do you understand? Ignorance. Because one, we forget the truth. Two, we don't understand the truth. The ignorance. Ignorance is the main distraction. So then we don't understand the truth. Forget the ultimate truth. We forget the relative truth, actually. So we forget the relative truth. And out of this ignorance, the most powerful afflictions are created, such as, attachment and aversion. And then this leads to hope and fear. As long as you have hope and fear, then this gives all kinds of emotions, expectations. Then you lost your life, you lost your happiness. And if you are free from hope and fear, then the way you look at the life and the world is like a dream, it's like a dream, which means you have genuine love and kindness, and you have perfect sort of wisdom, so that you understand the truth. Then you have less attachment, less greedy, more satisfaction. See, because you understand the truth. So that is what Buddhists call enlightenment. So if you are in the present moment and you are not feeding your emotions, your thoughts, your distractions, if you are in the present moment, the moment you are in the present, somehow you are separate from your negative emotions. So through mindfulness practice, you will know that you have distractions, right? Mindfulness means like you are in the present, not in the past, not in the future. So you are in the present. So through that practice, you will know that you have distractions. And knowing that you have all these distractions is really good for your practice. And knowing that you have these distractions is really, really bad for your distractions. You know? Because they will lose their power. So right now, like most of the time, we don't know that we have distractions. It's really like our mind is wander all over. So it's very important the mindfulness practice, mindfulness. So not forgetting and to understand. Awareness helps you to understand that you have distractions. So again, that, knowing that you have distractions is really bad news for distractions, right? So you have to understand, first you have to, in order to practice mindfulness awareness, you have to understand what is defects, what is benefit, In order to have the unmistaken attitude, you need to develop really the mindfulness. You need to develop mindfulness and you need to develop awareness. Develop is not actually correct, though. You already actually have the mindfulness awareness, but you are not using it. You don't have to develop them. We already have them, but we just, most of the time, we're not using them, right? So mindfulness awareness, these two mental states are very, very important. That's why Buddhist, before you, for example, you become a Buddhist, your first stage is like you have to understand the basic teachings of Buddhism. The second is you start to practice mindfulness awareness. That's the second stage, because so important. This practice, this mindfulness awareness, the foundation practice. All other practice. So actually, most of time meditation is a mental activity, right? Because even if the body in a perfect sort of position, but your mind can still think about something else, right? So when you practice meditation, you know your mind. But most time you just can't control and leave it alone. That's in Tibetan we call it nyam yak, means like leave it alone. Means like nyam means like evenly or equally. Yak means like leave it alone. Don't do anything. That's it. Your mind. You don't have to try to control or try to stop your thoughts and all of that. Just to leave it alone. Like, like don't do anything. Like, you just, we are doing like so many things. Like we can't leave it alone. Just to leave it alone. But we can't do that, right? So that's the thing. That's the thing. That's always they say when you meditate, Nyamjak means like leave it alone. Don't fix anything. Don't try to do anything. Just leave it alone. But we can't. We can't just control, or we just can't leave it alone. So we need the practice of mindfulness and awareness in order to do that, So when you meditate, you know your mind, you experience. You are experiencing your mind. So you know you have mind, but you can't leave it alone. It doesn't matter. Your body is so perfect, position. But inside is like, oh my goodness, these distractions, you can't leave it alone. Maybe you have very good thoughts. Maybe you have like very bad thoughts. It's just inside there is always like you are so itchy, what do you call it? Like we can't. Just always, like we're like a monkeys, like always like, but like we can't leave it alone. So mindfulness, awareness really help you with that. So therefore, meditation, when you meditate, it's mental activity. So actually, we cannot talk about anything that is Buddhist without talking about mind. Because mind is the fundamental. In order to create perfect virtue or develop beneficial attitude and all this, discipline, abandon the negative actions, we cannot forget the mind. But we always forget it. So what can we do? We always forget this present moment, which is our life. We always forget. So what can we do? The answer is meditation. So meditate, okay? Meditate. So we should meditate. I would like you to meditate on mindfulness by focus on your breath. You can choose any kind of objects. Either your breath, either like somebody's head. If you are sitting behind of somebody's, you can choose their head or body or whatever. You can choose, your object. But usually breath is very precious, very fresh, and very actually the best object for your meditation. And there are two things you need to focus on. First of all, if you choose a breath for your meditation object, so when you breath in, when you focus on your breath, and this is a preparation for your meditation. So when you meditate, of course, don't think that I'm doing something special. It's not special. It's just a normal, you should think like this is my normal life. So, but preparation is very important. So focus on your breath because it helps this preparation, it helps you bring everything back. So focus on your breath, and then if you want, you can pause or you can hold it for a second and try to relax. Try to relax just there. Try to relax there. And maybe recognize that moment. If you are really relaxed, if you have a good preparation, then actually you can relax, right? So then another thing is try to recognize that moment, that relaxation, and recognize your thoughts. If you have again these distractions, recognize, and then breathe out. So when I teach, kind of very slow, right? But when you meditate, it's very fast. You breathe in, relax, and breathe out, relax. That's it. Just focus on your breath and relax. Recognize this moment. This moment. And if you have thoughts, distractions, let your thoughts, everything go. Which means let your breath and your thoughts dissolve into sort of this relaxation. When I say dissolve, means like it's you will see it. If you have thoughts and if you don't feed them, don't follow them, as soon as you recognize that there is a thought, they are gone. You have no idea where they went. It's gone. That's the same thing when you get angry. If you are fortunate enough, if you have a little bit mindfulness, and as soon as you try to recognize your anger, it's gone. It's very interesting. It's very strange or interesting. You have no idea where my anger. But when you don't recognize, you don't mindfulness, then you feed your anger, and your anger is bigger and bigger and bigger. Then you can burn whole world, right? So that's why the mindfulness is the antidote, not forgetting. So that's why, when you meditate, sometimes you have lots of thoughts because, some people can't just relax, can't leave it alone. So you make more thoughts. So that's why awareness is very important. Not only mindfulness, but this combination, both you need. Mindfulness makes you relax, just relax, right? But then, when you try to relax or your thoughts arise, then you need awareness, because then you have to recognize that you have thoughts. And then mindfulness help you like not follow thoughts. You just makes you relax, right? You relax. And do not follow your distractions. Simply relax, just there, just this moment. So you do this, like again, many times. Bring it back. Bring it back. Maybe you need 10 times. Maybe you need 20 times. Maybe you need 100 times within 1 minute. Because you can't just leave it alone. So always pop up your thoughts, pop up, and then you bring it back, recognize, and then thought, bring it back. That's kind of, you are fighting, maybe this is not correct, fighting, but you can't forget. Bring it back. Bring your mind back to the present moment. That's how you, you are not beginner, right? So you are not beginner. You meditate all the time, so it's easy. I don't have to say, but if you are beginner, then you have to bring it back all the time. Even like 1 second, within 1 second, you have to bring your mind back 10 times, 20 times, so many times. Because our mind, like, the function, so fast. You are relaxed, you are thinking. You are relaxed, you are thinking. It's so fast. Mind so fast. So therefore you have to bring back. So you see, if you see, how is this meditation as simple as that? It's very simple. You just focus on your breath, relax, bring back. Don't follow, bring back, like that. You have to do that many times. So this kind of combination of mindfulness and awareness, meditation, it's work. That's all we need. So you see, again, the relaxation is mindfulness, right? And the recognition is awareness practice. But this time you should focus more on mindfulness meditation, and maybe we will do meditation on awareness next session, But usually they're working together. It's really nice, but sometimes you should practice like together, like, both mindfulness awareness, sometimes like separately. Try to focus on this, what do you call it, mindfulness, which is relaxation. But sometimes you feel that, I cannot practice without this awareness, only mindfulness. No. So you need both, but whatever you feel, So simple meditation is very important. So your thoughts, your distractions will arise for sure, right? But the thing is, do not feed them, do not follow them. Simply watch them come and go with your mindfulness. So the point is, this meditation is that you can bring a sense of relaxation into this present moment. So which is mindfulness in this case? To understand, you can pick any object, but my recommendation is breath. It's very nice. Breathe in, out. Doesn't matter you do like fast or slow or whatever, but be gentle, right? Because that's gentleness. You need the gentleness, right? That's part of mindfulness. Okay, meditate for 15 minutes on mindfulness and awareness by focus on your breath, whatever you choose the object. Okay? Are you ready? Just don't think that I'm doing something special. That makes you really sort of not relaxing, Today I'm doing something special. And then you have lots of these expectations and hope and fear. Oh, my meditation didn't go well. Oh, maybe it went well. Doesn't matter. It's just just pretending, this like this normal life, you know. That's your life. You try to in the present moment, right? Present moment. That's your life. Past and future is not your life. I will teach you more of these things next time, but your life, our life is the here, right here in front of you, this moment, right? So that's it's very normal. It's nothing special. Don't think meditation is special. That it makes you nervous, makes you not relax, and then you raise lots of these expectations. Okay, just relax for 15 minutes, or you just relax. My root teachers always say your mind is very stable, then it doesn't matter. You just lay down or you sit on this like this or whatever, you sleep or whatever. Everything is meditation. Maybe we're not there yet, right? So even I'm not there yet, right? My experience, my teaching experience. If you ask me, my teaching experience, perfect, excellent. My meditation experience, good. Not perfect, not excellent, just good. Still need to develop, right? So, but just to relax. I like that. So just to relax and focus on your breath, okay? For now we have like a little bit over 10 minutes, okay? Very good. Take a break.